Hello, my wonderful viewers, and welcome to another episode of Betty Adams Overanalyzes. Today, we are going to take another look at Kaiju number 8. Specifically, we're going to take a look at one line said by Director General Shinomiya near the end of Chapter 37. Director Shinomiya, he's literally back to the wall. He can barely move. Kaiju number 8 has beaten him to a bloody pulp. Meanwhile, inside the mysterious meat space, the bug-type Kaiju had started all of this, has gigantified and chomped Kafka, leaving only his boot floating in the meat space, while Kafka's body floats in the floaty space. Kafka's eyes close, and the Kaijuification is slowly taking over his entire body. And Kaiju number 8 rears back his hand to deliver the final blow to Director General Shinomiya, and Director General pulls open his eyes and growls out, "I was hopeful, but I see all is lost." Now, that really struck me as being very, very telling. Not particularly mysterious given the circumstances, but very telling. And it tells me a lot about what's been going on behind the scenes of the upper levels of the Japanese Defense Force. Someone did point out to me that this speech bubble is halfway between two panels. The one panel being a close-up of Commander Shinomiya's face, the other panel being a close-up of Kafka's face and neck. And they said that this might be like a shared thought between them, a shared sentiment, especially as there's no triangle leading directly to Commander Shinomiya's mouth. But given the phrasing, I'm pretty sure it's being said by Commander Shinomiya about Kafka, because Kafka's mouth is mostly closed, and his eyes are definitely closed, and Director General Shinomiya's mouth is open like he's talking, and just the speech patterns. This is not something that Kafka would say unless he was deliberately trying to be ostentatious, where it is something that Director General Shinomiya would absolutely say in his daily life. That's definitely real old man speak, and not 32-year-old teenage girl thinks he's old man speak. Anyway, moving on. So what does this tell me? So now, we've figured out by this point that the first thing it tells us is that this is absolutely a test. Director Shinomiya went in here hoping that Kafka was genuinely in control of the body, that Kafka was still his little soldier, and that Kafka could be saved. It paints the Director General in a much more sympathetic light. And like I said, for several chapters, Kikoru has a nearly insane level of loyalty going on to anyone she considers one of her troops. She almost certainly inherited that from her father. Director General Shinomiya is not a man who will lightly throw away any of the lives under his command. And so it's been pretty obvious for the past couple of chapters, more obvious as it went on, that the Director General was testing Kafka, trying to prove that Kafka could be trusted. But that's only the first part of what he says. I was hopeful, but I see all is lost. When a commander loses a soldier, or even loses several soldiers, he doesn't say all is lost, because ultimately the life of one soldier or another does not determine the outcome of the battle. It's their actions. So if Commander Shinomiya was just speaking about his failure, he'd say either I have lost, referring to the fact that he's about to get the life punched out of him. I have failed, meaning that he's failed to save one of his soldiers' lives and has failed to do justice to and reward the man who saved his daughter's life. Or if he was feeling particularly sentimental, he might say, I'm sorry, Kikoru. Those are the things he would say if he was only referring to what was happening in this small room, in this moment. But he doesn't. He says, all is lost. Now, Director Shinomiya is not a man who is extravagant with his words. He's very blunt, short, direct, and to the point. Now, so why would he say that all is lost? So, what do we know so far? We know from the series that the kaiju have some sort of organization. Number 10 was able to come in with an entire wing of wyverns to attack the base. And we know that there are other kaiju who are at his level. Not many, but there are some. So number 10 is probably close to the upper limit of what an individual kaiju can fight as. Now, then we know that number 9 has a research base and approaches things as a scientist and is trying to find better ways to fight the humans, just as the humans are trying to find better ways to fight the kaiju. So we have number 9 being the scientist who has a base that is advanced enough that he can bring back a whole entire human officer to study for future results. And you have number 10 who shows that there's resources enough to support at least at least 2 more kaiju that are close to his power that can scrap with him, as he says. So this would imply, and with that added that to the increase in attacks, and this would imply that there is an intelligence, at the very least, if not an entire military, acting outside. And that's just what we've seen from the point of view perspective of Kafka, One Foot Soldier. It is no stretch of the imagination at all to imagine that other divisions have been getting similar clues, and that the commander of the division has put all of these together and has figured out that there is a genuine military, if not a military, a threatening attack force on the other side, wherever that other side is, wherever these kaiju come from, and that they're gearing up for a more intense attack. This is what, after all, this is what inspired the separating Reno and the other three friends of Kafka, allegedly, to spread them up and train them harder. So, now, a full-on military invasion by Kafka, by kaiju of comparable strength to number 10 and comparable intelligence to number 9, would be a world-ending catastrophe. It'd be like Armageddon or Ragnarok, but with, kaiju. So, and that would definitely justify the concept that all is lost if the Director General dies here, if Kafka's power can't be harnessed as kaiju number 8. So, but now, on the other hand, why did this give the general so much hope? Just one soldier, just one, isn't going to do much. He has to have read all the reports. He has to know that kaiju number 8 struggled against kaiju number 9, and that kaiju number 10 was within 0.8 of the same power level as kaiju number 8. So, even if Kafka does have full control of this body, why would just having one kaiju on their side give the Director General so much hope? Again, one soldier more or less probably isn't going to affect the outcome of the battle that much. But if all of that information is right, and if the Director General thinks that not only Kafka is true, but kaiju number 8, or rather the bug that started this nonsense with kaiju number 8, is if not benevolent, at least benign, then that would be a massive source of hope. If kaiju number 8, not Kafka, kaiju number 8 himself, or the little guy who creates kaiju number 8 in conjunction with Kafka, if that is an intelligent being that came over here specifically to help humans, then it stands to reason that there might be allies on the other side, that there might be a chance for negotiation instead of all-out war, that there might be more to this than just one super-powered punching machine. Because as awesome as kaiju number 8 is, it's going to take one sniper of something close to Mina's power to take him out. And Hoshina, going in completely blind, went up against Kafka. And yeah, Kafka wasn't trying to off him, but he did push kaiju number 8's body pretty hard. So, again, kaiju number 8 is not the end-all be-all in this conflict, but an intelligence that is willing to work with them, that is willing to protect humans, that might be a link to an alliance with more such intelligences in the kaiju ecosystem or the kaiju culture, that would be an amazing help. Now, I just noticed something while recording this video. I was looking at the relevant pages for inspiration, and I just saw that Commander Shinomiya's suit has 4 safety heating vents. Now, I believe that every other suit we've seen, including Mina's, who can release in the upper 90s, and Hoshina, they only have 2 steam vents on their uniforms. So, however powerful they are, Commander Shinomiya's suit is even more powerful. Or it's older and less efficient, so it needs all 4 steam vents. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. Okay. So that is my theory. That's my little theory about that. I think that Commander Shinomiya wasn't just trying to save Kafka's life. He wasn't just trying to test Kafka. He was testing kaiju number 8 to see if the kaiju were willing to talk, basically. If that goes too far, at the very least it shows us that he was genuinely concerned with saving Kafka's life. So that is my 2 cents on this matter. If we're just going to wait till next week, see the next chapter. I am so looking forward to seeing this arc through to its conclusion. And again, I just really, really hope we don't get a time skip because, man, I want to see the next few minutes in this room. That would just be awesome. So peace out, my wonderful viewers.
The book from author Betty Adams, Humans Are Weird, I Have the Data, is a humorous look at human behavior through the eyes of aliens. This book is arranged in separate reports or essays, documenting the experiences with humanity through the lens of the aliens who have to interact with them. This anthology of short stories and vignettes from alien points of view highlights some of humanity's quirks we can all relate to. Author Betty Adams captures how strange and interesting humans can really be. This is a fun collection of stories you will really get a kick out of. Humans Are Weird, I Have the Data, from author Betty Adams. Order your copy right now on Amazon.